Okay, now you can hear me. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry. Thank you for that entertaining story about my voice being stolen from me by an evil monster.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Imagination. It's a realm of imagination.
Improv!
Improvisational theater. Good work, everyone. Thank you. So, welcome back. This is Roll20 Presents D&D Adventurers League, episode number 4. I am joined by my lovely cast. How is everyone besides slightly sunburnt, Elf?
Oh, well, if it's besides slightly sunburnt, then I guess we can't talk about that. But I'm still going to do this is my own public humiliation, but look, I had horns.
I can kind of see it now. Yeah.
I had horns this weekend, and there's like a patch of non-sunburn on my head. It's like where my horn was because I was LARPing. Super.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
that's gorgeous.
Super fun, by the way.
It's so I love your LARP stories. I love them so much. Like
have you checked out the highlights on my channel? Because they're all highlighted, like every single one.
Have you ever considered like doing any like vlogging at any of your LARPs or like doing live?
The issue is consent, right? Mm-hmm. Like some people don't want to be on camera, so I can't take like candid video. Mm-hmm. But also immersion is another thing. Like I don't want to during the game be like,
get someone to wear a T-shirt that says "familiar" on it, and then they can be your servant and follow you around.
I definitely want to do that stuff. That'd be so cool. It's a matter of setting it up. I'm gonna talk to my game organizers for the one I was at this weekend because they seem more reasonable. And
that'd be so cool. I would love to see that.
See if I can throw on a white headband and just kind of.
It's your magic eye. It's fine. We can
a
justify
magical
shit.
Third eye.
Exactly. Just do it at like a steampunk LARP and make it a goggle. It's some kind of
God,
goggle.
that would be beautiful.
All steampunk costumes.
I wanted to put like a GoPro in like an amulet, and then like wear that. Nice. And
see, cleverness, improvisation. It's great. That's cool. I'm excited. It's every time that you tweet about or talk about LARPing, I'm like, in an alternate universe where I had more time.
If I could go places and do things that weren't related to what I already go places and do.
Yeah, exactly. If I hadn't already replaced my legs with this chair, it would be fun. How have you been, Blue Jay? What have you been up to?
I've been really good. I've been catching a lot of Pokemon and
speaking of outdoor activities.
Yeah, outdoors. I'm outdoors, right? I'm totally outdoors and watching some D&D shows with my stream viewer people and playing The Witcher again. And I'm just again, I love that game so much. So yeah, that's been my life inside my apartment where there's air conditioning.
Man, I feel totally outnumbered. There are like 3 out of the 5 of us who like spend time outside doing things. Andrew, have you bicycled anywhere recently? Tell us about your outdoor adventures.
I'm outside all the time.
I know you are.
Just perpetually outdoors.
Yeah.
People don't realize it, but Andrew's actually outside right now. There's only 3 walls to his room.
Yeah, there's actually no roof on
the front of his house is just a hole in the wall, and there's just sunlight coming through. It's very.
That'd be kind of nice this time of year.
Changing clothes must be weird.
Only for the neighborhood.
Yeah, not weird for Andrew.
Not for me. I'm fine.
Andrew doesn't care.
Awesome. Well, I like how, so this is great. I'm going to start doing this, Dave, from now on. I'm not going to announce whether you have your webcam or not and watch people in chat be like, wait, is Dave just, is he? And then when you do get it back, just sit perfectly still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll find the picture that you sent me and I'll dress up like that again.
Yeah.
It's a whole person spell.
Yeah, it's glorious.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have the sound of Dave, if not your beautiful moving face. How have you been, my Dave?
He's not just yours, Adam.
Yes, he is. You stay away from him. He's mine. That's not true. He belongs to all of us.
To respond to that bit specifically, I'm otherwise pretty good. I've been infected by MMO-itis, so I've basically just been playing WoW for a week and not doing anything else. I'm trying to get enough money together to fix my webcam.
We'll get there.
At some point.
Let's crowdfund your webcam.
Yeah, we can do it.
We can make it happen. I believe in you.
I would pitch in a couple bucks.
$20 for Dave's webcam.
Totally. How's the pound doing right now? How's expensive our
Yeah.
webcams?
Yeah,
Where are you
that's a
from?
good point.
Pounds are pretty cheap.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right? Like it's almost like £1 million to like buy a $20 webcam. Yeah.
And then you got to pay
Not
shipping.
quite that
We
bad.
got like Zimbabwe level inflation
yeah.
over there.
Do you live in the Weimar Republic or what?
Like the money I have to carry down to the shops is like heavier. And it's paper money, and it's heavier than the groceries that I'm going to get back.
The wheelbarrow market is really just through
Going
the roof.
outside and getting exercise, you see?
There you go.
Yeah, everyone's doing it.
I mean, you should honestly be catching Pokemon while you're doing that.
With your wheelbarrow full of money.
Yeah.
Well,
no one will take it. It's worthless.
I wanna go over real quick because I know we had some conversations off screen about level up stuff. But before we do that, as far as like Roll20 stuff goes, we had an announcement this morning for D&D stuff, so I think it's prudent to mention it. We've been working for longer than I can remember on ironing out all the details for officially having licensed Wizards of the Coast products as part of the marketplace on Roll20. So that went live today with the Lost Mine of Phandelver. So if people want to buy that adventure and just like have all the maps and the character sheets and all that stuff done for them already, if you're lazy like me, that will appeal to you. And it opens the door for all kinds of other cool stuff built into Roll20. So I'm super excited. We got the working on the Storm King adventure set soon too. So that'll be up for pre-order. If I wasn't already doing Adventurers League stuff, it would be Phandelver time because we played that adventure, right, Andrew? Yeah, with the Lost Dwarves. I think it's my favorite.
My smoke alarm is going off. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, it's my favorite D&D intro adventure. I love it. It's really cool. So we're really excited about that. So if you want to, there's a link in chat. You can go and check it out.
Everyone, don't panic. Andrew's house is just burning down. It's fine.
I had that happen at the end of an episode of Mirror Shades where we were doing something, and I was like, yeah, my fire alarm's going off in my apartment building, so. I'm gonna go. Thanks for playing, everybody.
I've had fire alarms interrupt my games before. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure none of my alarms work in my building, so if I die, it's fine.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye out, and if anything in the immediate vicinity starts to smoke,
If the room starts to get smokier,
we'll
let
let you
me
know.
Yeah.
So let's jump over. I'm gonna take it over to the Roll20 screen because
Okay.
I want to go through and just review everybody's character. So Saris, when you leveled up, you chose your path, right?
I
What type
did,
of
yeah.
druid
I'm
you are.
Circle of the Land Druid.
That's right. Yeah, you're gonna go with
Yeah.
spellcaster druid. That's cool.
Mhm.
We adjusted your armor class. You went up a whopping
did.
4
It was-
points.
It's amazing.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
It is now harder. It's now harder to hit you. Than this.
Club?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like badass. I'm so badass.
Yep.
Are you gonna shillelagh?
I'm gonna shillelagh all the time. If I pull out my club and don't shillelagh, then shillelagh is how-
It just bursts into Witcher 3 background music like
I really like how Dungeons and Dragons, and I've talked about this on stream before. I really like how Dungeons and Dragons teaches people words they would otherwise never know, like shillelagh, for example. Or honestly, like the first time I ever saw words like constitution or dexterity, because I'm from Canada and we
Right.
don't have a constitution. I was like, what does this word mean?
Or like magic.
yeah, that word is really good.
yeah,
Ma-
magic.
Melee is a big one.
Wizard.
Vampire the Masquerade actually did a bunch of that too, like obfuscate and celerity.
Oh yeah, yes.
Because
Obfuscate is a
they had
great
to
word.
come up with slightly gothier versions of regular human words. You're not invisible, you're obfuscated.
Yeah.
Much moodier. Cool. So, and you got a couple more spells that you can cast for soul stuff.
Wait, I didn't though. Like, just I have more that I can prepare, but they're the same spells.
Yeah, you got a new cantrip, and you can prepare
Okay.
more spells. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have
I-
a new selection. This you ran
This
into
was a thing. This was
you
a
ran into a common problem that Dungeons and Dragons players run into.
I was perusing the D&D Player's Handbook by myself, looking at the new spells I thought I could cast because I was level 2 now.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm level 2. These spells say
So
level 2
spells,
right
that's
on
my
them.
spells. Perfect, right? And so I brought up with Dave that because he's the only one who doesn't have dark vision. I was like, Dave, I have this cool spell now. It's dark vision. You can see. I'm gonna use it all the time. And then Adam was like, where did you see that you have that?
Yeah, I have this bucket of DM ice water. Where's your fun? Let me just... Oh, there you go. That fire is out.
Yeah.
It is a little confusing. The term level gets thrown around a lot in Dungeons and Dragons, and yes, this is
I
one
feel like the
artifact.
spells should have tiers or like
It
circles.
should be a different word, yeah. But it did confuse me. I even like went through and spent like a good amount of time like marking every spell that I could use now, and now I can't use it. I put little tabs in
That's
there.
okay. It'll come in handy later.
I put little tabs.
Yeah, when you get to
Consider-
third level and can use second level spells.
But at least I color coordinated my tabs, so I know which ones are first level and which ones are second level. So
There you
Circle is a good word for spell levels. That's what my
Right.
LARP is.
go. Yeah.
I'm
He's already a
you can
druid.
employ me at Wizards of the Coast.
For your
I am looking
vocabulary.
forward.
I know not to use the same term to refer to 2 different mechanics. It's good.
Yeah.
Put that on the old resume. There's a question about your armor class in the chat there. So Saris's armor class is currently 15, because it is 10 to begin with, I believe. No, it's 11. 11 plus.
it was 11.
Yeah, 11 plus your dexterity. You are wearing hide armor now, I believe,
Yeah, we bought hide armor
Hide
instead
armor.
of leather armor.
and a shield. So going
And I have a
from-
shield.
Yeah, so you can now.
Like if I had an actual one, I would be hitting it right there.
I also love how you have like 7 different attacks in your character sheet. Like
I don't know. They just appear there.
Saris is bristling with weaponry.
I'm
Scimitar,
pretty
short-bow.
much though. Like I have a
shillelagh.
short bow, a scimitar, a club, a shield, and then I also have like magic things that I throw at people. Basically, I'm just like the world is scary.
What Blue Jay is trying to do here, I think, is be a first-person shooter character in Dungeons and Dragons. Just pulling out whatever
Pretty
weapons,
much.
rocket
I'm
launchers.
just like, wait a second, I have one of these.
I'd like to say that I'm also bristling with weaponry, but my weaponry is my fists.
That's right. That's right.
Wait, you're covered in fists? Just like a million fists.
Yeah, it's like the George Washington of fists. Yeah, the higher her level, the more fists she gets. Yeah, so with your hide armor, the default is it's 12 plus your dexterity modifier plus your shield. So lots of ACs for Saris the druid. So you're ready to not
so
die.
tough for a 5'3" elf, man.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
cool.
tough.
You got 17 hit points.
Yeah.
So Zahiri, your level up I think is probably the simplest, right? Because you get your key points. How
Yeah,
many-
I get my key points and my unarmored movement, which means I'm moving at 40 feet per move.
Yes. And how many key points do you get?
2,
So
just 2.
Nice. And you can use them for punch kicking and kick punching.
I can use them for flurry of blows, which is like an extra unarmed attack. I can use them for taking a dodge action as a bonus and taking a dash or disengage as a bonus.
Yeah. The extra mobility is pretty intense.
Yeah, it's really good because then, if you don't think about it, you're like, 40 feet, it's no big deal. But even like 35 or 40 over 30 is nice when you need to get away, especially if you have those key points to disengage.
Yeah, Elf can move 120 feet in a single round.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's 120 feet in 6 seconds, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
So movement
Damn, girl.
for folks who watched Old School Adventures, movement makes slightly more sense in this game. Whereas in Moldave, you can move 60 feet in 10 minutes.
What?
Dungeon
Yeah, it's
exploration is
weird.
very slow in that.
Well, I feel like maybe in
purpose.
that area, gravity is just like really heavy and like the air is denser.
Right.
It's like a different planet, probably. That makes sense, right? They're on Jupiter.
Moon adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Moving from the keep to Flan is like coming out of the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Z. Just like really fun.
Yeah.
There was, I feel like, I think it was the folks at Penny Arcade that did in their home campaign. They were playing 4th edition, and they went back in time. And when they went back in time, the DM switched to AD&D and was like, "Here's your character sheets," which was pretty funny. Like switching editions
That would
depending
be so
on.
cool.
Yeah, kind of great. Cool. All right, so let's talk about our multi-classers because everybody want to be a rogue.
Evidently, I even kind of want to be a rogue a little
Me
bit.
too.
now.
I'm like kind of
Just
thinking
like,
about
yeah.
getting on it. Yeah.
Nope,
That could be our keys.
no niche protection in this game. So Graveris, you and I mean this has been your plan since kind of day one, right? You're cleric 1, rogue 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So I get to sneak attack things, and later when I can conjure a double of myself, I can sneak attack things on my own, or like flank things on my own.
Eventually, what Andrew wants here is for Graveris to just be the party in and of himself. Like, it's cool. I can cast spells. I can heal. I can sneak attack.
I make 3 copies of myself and then disguise each of them as the various party members.
I'm level 1 everything. I have 1 level in every class.
Perfect.
Cool.
Best character ever.
So that makes sense. That's good. And then you think you're gonna probably like go like 1 each level as you go, or are you gonna kind of
I'm
focus?
probably going to keep going cleric for a while,
Yeah.
and then maybe splash in some rogue levels.
Yeah,
later.
yeah, taking that dip in. The thing is, yeah, second level is always a little bit less exciting. And if you get over
like there's
that,
so
you
much
can get to
new
third.
stuff that you get just by getting 1 level.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm splashing a color in.
that's right.
Do it in Magic.
Perfect. You contain multitudes.
It's
So
a Wizards of the Coast game. I'm supposed to splash in it.
that's right. I get it. There's a Pokemon joke in here somewhere about how you're a Magikarp, but maybe that was the joke. That was it. We'll go with that.
You did it. You did the
We
thing.
did it. Dave, you hadn't decided when we last left the live version of the game. What did you decide to go with for your second level?
I ended up going with that idea of potentially multi-classing, and I have. So I'm now a Rogue One Fighter 1. So
Good.
I'm going to hopefully be a little bit tougher. I'm better at shooting from getting a fighting style. When I get like 400 gold, I can increase my AC by 1. Like, there are a few like small benefits.
Well,
but
how much gold do you have right now? Because I don't know. I don't really need
I
that.
mean, I got money too.
I could buy a favor from you.
I've got 98 gold right now.
I mean,
We're not allowed to share gold.
okay, I'm not sharing it. I'm buying something from him.
I love how you can tell you're learning how to play D&D because you're trying to rules later. Like, I can't give him the gold, but can I buy the armor and just drop it on the ground and walk away? Like, I'm just gonna put this gold on the table and turn around, and if it's gone when I turn around again, well,
So the 4 of us are going to form a corporation, and the corporation buy.
No, but honestly, I have like 119 gold. So, like, if you, I don't know, I could buy some stuff from you. You can poison, right?
Well, despite being friends and allies, it is intended that you keep your rewards for yourselves. Rather than throw it
I'm
around.
a hermit. I don't need money.
However, I mean, the funny thing is that rules lawyering actually works because there isn't anything in the rules about buying and discarding equipment or buying equipment and giving it to someone else. It just is like you can't just give your gold. I think the idea here is that a person in the like tabletop version of this, a person couldn't show up to a game of Adventurers League with 3 of their friends who will never play again, make brand new characters, and at the end be like, all right, everybody give me your gold. Okay, you're never playing again. Thanks, though. And now I have,
Okay.
like,
Yeah, no,
900
that
gold.
would be bad.
I'm actually fine letting y'all share yours because we're playing a consistent group throughout.
I mean, like in real life, I would be able to do that. So why can't I in Dungeons and Dragons?
Because unlike real life, Dungeons and Dragons has rules. And
What?
I know, right?
No,
But no,
okay,
that's
we'll
it's
figure
fine if
something
you
out.
want to contribute to the buy lane some armor.
I mean, as long as the little because the little deal we had with the that one guy in the very beginning, like the first adventure, he was the Harper guy.
Mhm.
We made that deal with him, and I asked him if I could potentially get some like favor for like Poisoner's Kit favor. If we could do that, then I'll just give Dave all my money.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna do that, you wanna give up some of your cash, that's totally fine.
We could potentially like do a backward sort of deal with my like downtime. I could start making a poisonous kit with my downtime. Give that to you, and you'd pay me the money back, and I'd buy.
That would be just fine for me.
Just saying, the person who doesn't need to buy anything ever because I punch kick things and don't wear armor has 153 gold. So
today on Adventurers League, everyone takes turns bragging about how much gold they don't need.
Well, I mean, honestly though, like when we were looking at back the spent time after, what is it called?
Downtime.
When we're looking at downtime, I was looking at how much my like hermit background like costs me downtime wise, and it's basically like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I basically just go live in a tent, and like that is my like downtime costs. So like Dave is like a noble, so he has to spend hella money to keep up his lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm totally fine with contributing to your having a ridiculously expensive lifestyle. What are you buying? Fist tech or something?
Pardon?
Special gear for Zahiri to wear to make up for all the fists. I did want to talk for a second, Dave, about I looked at your like the abilities you get and stuff. Like your character is a pretty bomb ass archer at this point, like with sharpshooter and archery.
Yes,
it's pretty good.
At level 2, having a +7 to attack is not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. And I really like the
damn.
You have the sharpshooter ability to... I knew about the ignoring cover and the long range thing, but I forgot about the thing where if you make an attack, you can kind of super weapon the thing and be like, I'm only going to roll at +2, but deal 10 extra damage.
Yeah, this is why I bought myself like a brace of like 8 daggers, so I can attack twice a round at just +2 instead of the once at +7.
So you're trying to tell me that you're just saying, hey guys, give me all your money. By the way, I just spent money on 8 daggers.
I mean, yeah, you throw a dagger and it's gone. It's a very sad time. It disappears. There aren't rules for like collecting.
Can't you like? Oh wait, you don't have dark vision. You wouldn't be able to find it again.
Oh, harsh times. Everybody's standing around snickering while Lane stumbles around the dark trying to find his knife.
Like feeling like he's like, oh, where is it?
Knock the torch out and start.
Gravere's just kicking it out of the way occasionally. Man,
oh my god. I'm
such bullies. Such bullies.
It's gonna be great.
No wonder nobody likes demi-humans. Well, imagined Lane bullying aside, how about some adventure? How about some adventure and experience and what have you?
I'm ready.
Excellent. All right. Well, so we're 3/5 of the way through. You've done 3 of the mini adventures in Defiance and Flan, and we talked a little bit before about how we want to finish the other 2. So we'll see if we can get through the other 2 today. One of them is shorter than the other, so we'll start with the shorter one and we'll see how that goes. So as has become tradition for you, the scene opens in Madame Friona's tea kettle. Though, as a contrast to your previous visitations to the tea kettle, tonight it is crowded. There are the sounds of clay mugs clinking and beer being poured and conversations at the tables throughout the tea kettle, and the Even Feast meal has brought in many hungry patrons. Some citizens of Flan. Others, visitors from elsewhere in Faerun. A young halfling woman named Blizette, obviously one of Friona's many daughters, acts as your server for the meal. She's wearing a blue kerchief, so she sort of stands out as she moves around in the crowd, because being a halfling and a waitress can be a daunting task. She, despite the busyness and despite the patrons' often grumpy demeanor, she manages to keep a smile. She's one of Friona's more cheerful offspring. She delivers your meal and heads off to another table. So you'll have food on the table, and Saris, you're given an extra biscuit. She gives you a little wink as she heads off to continue her work. And you get set to eat, right? You're doing the whole like tucking your napkins in, getting your cutlery out, and suddenly a half orc approaches your table, pulls out a chair and sits down without asking. He's smiling a tusky smile at you, and through his clenched teeth says, "Just act normal, but listen closely." And he like looks around nervously. He says, "Everyone's life is in danger. My name is Burl Ka. I represent the Emerald Enclave. We're a group that watches over the happenings in Flan and the wilderness beyond. Someone just told me that a potentially devastating magical item has been brought into the tea kettle. I don't know what it looks like or who has it, but I need your help in finding it. Word around here is that you are reliable folk." And he looks around and he says, "I need you to split up and talk to anyone who looks suspicious. Try and find out who's got this item. Don't let anyone know what you're doing, because the possessor of this item might set it off if they knew they were found out." And he kind of like, he looks at you, Saris, for some reason. His eyes like linger on you. And then he says, "I'll do the same." And he turns, and his seat, skids back across the stone. And he stands up and tries to like nonchalantly step away from the table and head out into the crowd.
With my mouth full of whatever the dinner was, I'm not sure exactly. I'm assuming, did we get served it? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's on the table.
So, with my mouth half full of whatever that was.
Some mashed yams or something.
Well, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like think he's legit? Like, do you think he's actually telling the truth, or is he just like super drunk?
You can make an insight check if you want to.
Yeah, can we do that? Can I do that?
Sure. Yeah. Does anybody want to assist Saris with that?
I can assist.
I'll roll insight. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, Andrew, but
Okay. Yeah, you can
I'm
both.
helping.
Either way, you can both. It looks. You both rolled, so that's fine. Yeah, you can both with a 12, like 10 would have been sufficient.
Okay.
I mean, Graveris, you know what a liar looks like. You know what it looks like when people are making shit up. This guy looks scared. He looked nervous and on edge, but you didn't get the impression that he was misleading you. He certainly believes what he told you. And Saris, I think. I think it's the same. I think you can tell that he wasn't misleading you.
Genuine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, as a druid, I want to check your because you have a special, like, you have druidic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
So does that contain? Because he would have like said something to you or communicated something
In druidic,
because he's a member of the Emerald Enclave. Speak the language and can leave hidden messages. Okay, so I think that in the message, nobody else noticed this, but there was something about like his body language or something that communicated to you, and maybe it was in that last glance. He communicated something to you about the seriousness of this, and like kind of reinforced his point. With a secret sign of the druid language.
So the tea kettle is pretty bustling. I'm gonna say like I'm like acting with urgency. I'm gonna be like, okay, Gravaris and Lane and Zahiri, can you guys kind of like get a little bit like closer to me and make it so that people can't really like see what I'm doing there? They wouldn't be paying that attention anyway.
Slide along the bench like right next to you, like as close as possible. And can
I cast detect magic?
Yeah. I think people will notice, like, casting spells are kind of a big deal. If you had a distraction,
well, maybe I can ask Zahiri to be a distraction then.
I'm good at distracting.
Okay, so
I like Rain in the chat suggested that he drew the druidic rune for danger in your mashed potatoes. Like you look down and just like there's a rune in your soup. That's clever. Nice, Rain. Thank you.
Okay, so I instead ask Zahiri, like, can you go to like away from us and like attract as much attention as possible in your entertainerly ways?
Hold on. You want me to attract as much attention as possible? Because
yes.
Good.
Yes, actually.
Okay, all right, sure. I get up and head off. A table scene, whatever's going on with your talk should end before whatever I do.
And then can
You're
I
like,
ask?
you're like, be sure you're done with this because I'm going to cause a scene.
And then I ask Lane and Gravaris if they can maybe try and just like conceal like what I'm doing specifically from the occupants of the room, like just like stand in front of me, I guess. You know?
Hold your cloak out.
Yeah, just like be really dark and shadow
Someone's
like.
getting changed at the beach.
Exactly, just hold the towel up.
Yeah. And then while Zahiri is distracting, once we notice that the attention is in that direction, I'll try and detect magic.
So, as Zahiri is walking away from the table, I slip a lucky coin into her pocket, which is basically me casting guidance on her.
Nice.
Oh,
As I feel like the touch of guidance on my back, basically, or whatever, like into my pocket, I turn around and go, oh, I'm gonna need these, and I just scoop up like 3 torches from the like bag of torches.
Oh, Madame Fiona's gonna hate us. Hopefully,
So
we
let
don't burn down.
me see here. Go ahead and just let's see. This is what happens to the whole town, I guess. Just
No.
the day they burnt down Flan. You burnt
That's
the Flan.
to scale, right? That fire is to scale.
Yep. Okay, cool. So you're gonna cast guidance on Zahiri. So you whisper a prayer. Zahiri, you're gonna go and make a distraction. And then while that's happening, Blue Jay, what are you casting?
That.
That thing. Okay, let's take a look. So you're gonna cast, I think, Detect Magic, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you want to cast it as a ritual?
I need to because I didn't have anything prepared. We were eating dinner.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I kind of have to. It has to be a long distraction.
Yeah, you can be distracting for 10 minutes, I bet, Zahiri.
Oh, 100%.
She's super distracted.
Lane, what are you doing while Zahiri's about to perform Distraction City? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, if you're happy with Zahiri making the distraction to take notice away from you,
I definitely think she can do that.
Yeah, I think maybe. Actually, I guess either myself or Gravaris now could do this. Actually, did you get proficiency in Thieves' Cant taking a level in Rogue?
Yeah, totally. Of course I have it.
Yeah.
It's part of being a rogue.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that one of the things that you get at when you multi-class?
Everything. Like, going into fighting, you don't get heavy on you only get light on you.
Yeah, sure. Lane or someone else taught you the secret hand signs of the thieves?
The ear pulling.
Mask taught me the hand signs of the thieves. Come on.
Yeah.
Not as good as a wink to a blind man. Pip pip.
Exactly. Subtle hand signs of the thieves. No, it's fine. It's fine. This guy's my friend.
Everything is okay.
No problem. Yeah. So the two of you can communicate in Thieves' Cant if you need to.
I definitely like the idea of it being like Cockney rhyming slang or Velon or some other like weird dialectic thing, or at least part of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I was thinking, while the magic is being detected, we can like see which people are kind of carrying magic stuff, but I'm not sure we'd be able to find out like if a specific thing is dangerous. So I think the second tack to maybe go on is kind of on the sly, trying to talk to some people and being like, hey, I'm an adventurer. I'm about to go out on an adventure. I just made a bunch of gold. I'm looking for like magic stuff to like kill people with. Or something.
Okay, so maybe like while I'm detecting it, one of or the other of you would like point out like, hey, there's some over there, and the other one would go like check it out or something.
Yeah, like I'd try and like on the down low make it seem really sketchy, so they wouldn't be like alerted that somebody was specifically looking for something bad they'd done. But like I'm also in the business of dangerous magical items, so you know, like maybe I'm just.
I am a collector of magical items, specifically dangerous ones that are in the tavern and I need to know about.
In this tavern.
You wouldn't happen to have some kind of dangerous magical item for sale, would you? I have huge bags of gold I need to get.
Remember, in the JRPG rendition of this game, dangerous magical item would be in purple text.
Yeah.
Right. So, no, it's like the Super Nintendo Shadowrun. You just go to every table and be like, tell me about dangerous magical item. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Tell me about, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Okay, so I'm comfortable with one person staying to like, I don't know, cape throw. With Zahiri being an awesome distractor that she is. Yeah, if you want to go
let's
check out.
Let's find out how distracting Zahiri can be.
So, while this conversation is happening at the table, I make my way to another table, just any table that's like near a wall, like back to the wall, so everybody will be able to see me. Mm-hmm. And I stride up onto the table, lightly nudging people's mugs of ale like out of the way with my feet.
Yeah, people like picking up their plates.
Yeah.
Oh my, I never.
As I like walk onto the table with like 3 unlit torches over my shoulder, and I go, "Ladies and gentlemen," as loud as I possibly can.
Don't forget your thaumaturgy.
Across the tavern. Yeah, and I cast thaumaturgy to get a 3 times volume on that.
Madame Fiona taps the no thaumaturgy sign. Just flicks it on and off. Yeah, you like people start to, you get the initial like kind of people looking up at you, and like especially the people at the table who are kind of like food in their laps now, like, oh, I didn't realize it was dinner and a show.
You may recognize me from all of the times that I've been here before. I've been performing for Madame Fiona for quite a few days now. I don't know how long we've been here actually, but I have been here, so you may recognize me. My name is Zahiri. I am a adventurer, entertainer extraordinaire, and tonight I am here to dazzle you with a feat of dexterous ability. So I go, in my hands I have these 3 torches. You may be wondering, what are you going to do with those, Zahiri?
And so at a table nearby, someone is like, I was wondering what she was going to do with those.
Yeah, why she got those torches?
Can I get inspiration for trying to become famous
of course.
on this?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I just thought I should mention it.
Definitely. Yeah.
I have these 3 torches. Now, you've heard of juggling fire, haven't you? Haven't you, everyone?
yeah, you're getting a lot of the like nods. Like, of course I have. I've seen stuff. I know about things.
I can do that, and we're going to start with that, but it's going to get better, and you got to keep watching for the surprise ending.
All right.
So here we go. I light up one of the torches, and immediately the flame is like blue, you know? And then I light up the next torch, and immediately the flame is green. And I start sort of like one-handedly like juggling these 2 torches while the other one's in my other hand. And I try to light that one and like add it into the, you know, the three torch combo.
Nice. You see Fiona, Blizette, and Briez over by the bar, and one of them has like a bucket of sand, and the other's got like 2 buckets of water. Like, and they're
at least they're prepared.
They're just like ready to like leap into action when you light yourself or the bar on fire.
They've seen me do stupid things before.
You're probably right.
So do I need a check of some kind for this?
Yeah, let's see how showy your act is.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
I am going to use my inspiration that I just gained.
Nice.
To roll this performance check. Here we go.
Okay, good luck. Oh yeah, good thing you use it. So
I'm so glad that you used inspiration.
So you get to add a D4.
Oh yeah.
Right.
to your roll as well.
Bam.
All right.
It was super helpful.
Yeah, so I mean, we see you doing the juggling, and it's all bright and flashing. People are clapping with glee and getting excited, and then the blessing, like we can hear the sort of whisperings of Mask. And in this case, it's not telling you so much like how to be like more entertaining, but like showing you people whose attention is starting to wane, so you can focus on them and be like, hey, over here.
I like make eye contact and be like, look at this.
Yeah, so you're able to keep you're literally juggling the fire, but you're also juggling the attention of the patrons.
So talented.
Call that parallelism.
That's right, and that's
storytelling
a
device.
metaphor. So, I think Later, at the end of your performance, you will have collected some coin because people, throw it on the table. Yeah, so you get, wow, nice. You get 16 gold from your performance.
Sweet.
But I gotta. The grand finale is still gonna happen.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so while you're doing that, Saris, suddenly you've got all these like dramatic lights of the torches like flying around the room. And you're casting your spell.
Yeah. We've done detect magic before. So basically I just like, settle in at the table, like close my eyes and just like everything in the room, all of the stuff that Zahiri is doing to distract everyone else, it just like it's null.
Mm-hmm.
And like as I'm sitting there, like like everything like fades away and like just the awareness of magic like is like all like that my vision is. So I'm seeing like obviously what Zahiri is doing is kind of lighting it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see the trails of fire like leaving magical arcs in the air as she throws them around. Plus she glows like a very little bit on her own.
Because she's so magical.
That's true.
So what do I detect with my detecting of magic?
So detect magic allows you to sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. And the only magic that's within 30 feet of you currently is a potion in Lane's bag. All right, Lane, you still have that potion?
I have that potion, and I have a very, very faint aura on a single arrow.
That's right. So you'll have to like get a closer look at some of the other patrons, and this spell will last up to 10 minutes, so you'll have time to like walk around as long as you maintain concentration.
Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. Yeah. I have to maintain the concentration, walk through a crowded room, and not like get distracted. Okay.
Not get distracted by the distraction, which it's fine. You know it's a distraction. So
yeah.
The only things that can really jostle you for detect magic that can break your concentration is like if someone slugs you in the face or like like sudden jarring physical harm will break your concentration, but you don't have to make a roll to concentrate in and of it.
So I while I'm like sitting there and like I'm not getting any vibes or whatever, I basically just like trying not to like get myself out of my ritual like state. I whisper to Gravaris like they're not close, like we have to go find them. And I guess Lane at this point is probably we'll go that later. So I like slowly stand up and start like going around the outside of the room away from Zahiri.
Yes.
I think Gravaris will walk with Saris. I'll like offer her my arm or whatever, and so we walk around together, and that way she can just like be like, oh yeah, that person over there, and I can like scope them out. So we do a little bit of teamwork, and that way I can also help like steer her around the room.
Cool. And
then
then
the most like, insightful and like stuff, so you can see if people are acting shifty as well.
Yeah, because I'm not like actually looking at anybody. Like I barely can see the tables.
So I'm like working the crowd, and if I see suspicious people, I kind of like.
So at a glance, Zahiri from on top of the table, and the rest of you from your position of being. It's like being in a movie theater and looking behind you. Like no one is even noticing you. They're all looking at Zahiri.
Okay.
So there's a, like I said, like sort of miscellaneous like townsfolk, like background extras. But the people that draw your attention, there's a wild elf, looking kind of grubby. She's wearing armor, and she looks like she's had a rough day. She's got a bow, a strange looking bow, and she's sitting at the corner dining alone at one of the tables. You see two older human women that are sitting together, and they keep casting like suspicious glances around the room. And you noticed before that they spent more time like looking around the room than they don't seem like they're there together really. There's a finely dressed older human man and a dwarven woman sitting together. They're wearing like richly appointed clothes. You see a grumpy-looking half-elf. He's sitting. His food is uneaten. It's just sitting there, kind of cold on the table. And he's got a small notebook open with a quill and a pot of ink next to it. You see a dragonborn, so a draconic-looking humanoid. depending on how familiar with Dragonborn you are, it's hard to tell what gender they are. And they have pale skin, like their scales are like whitish, like an ivory color. And they look very nervous, like they keep like wringing their hands together, and they're watching the performance, but they're also kind of like, you get that impression they're waiting for it to be over. And then you see three halflings dressed in very bright colors, like almost Zahiri level, like jester outfits, and they are drunk as hell. So they're watching, but they're also like heckling and laughing and shouting and pushing each other. And so there's these three like rowdy halflings. Now they're speaking in a language that like they're switching between heavily accented common and a language that none of you understand.
Okay.
What about Lane? What's Lane doing during all of this?
I'm assuming he's investigating one of the people, right? That we just pointed out.
Yeah, Lane, what are you up to?
Yeah, so since I think Graveris is kind of doing the walking around with
Yeah, he's protecting me.
Ceres to like look at people specifically, I guess I'd like to with everybody like being super distracted, it's going to be hard to try and strike up some conversations in Thieves' Camp and stuff. I guess since you guys have actually kind of got it mostly covered, I'll wait until either you signal me to like come over and start talking to some people in particular. While I like wait for that, I will kind of make my way sort of towards the door just to make sure nobody like is coming. Like people can come in, that's fine, and I'm not going to stop people going out. But if people like, if this guy gets spooked, if they've got this like magic item, if they like cotton on to the fact that it's a ruse, I want to make sure that I'm there just in case.
That's a good plan. Okay, so while I'm doing detect magic, are any of these like groups of people standing out in particular?
You'd have to pick one and get within 30 feet of them.
Okay. Let's go with the nervous-looking dragon guy.
Okay. So you want to walk over to the Dragonborn?
I guess. Kravaris, you're the one that's guiding me. Who do you think that we should go towards?
I think I'm inclined to start with like overtly nervous or out of place people who are doing a bad job of blending in. So like the half elf with the uneaten food and the nervous dragonborn and like grumpy people are kind of higher on my list than like.
Okay. Yeah. So there was the dragonborn who was nervous looking. There was the half elf that wasn't touching his food, and then there was the wild elf.
Wild elf. With the weird bow. Yeah, so we're going to kind of like run a circuit that gets us close to those people so that us can scan them. And I'm like subtly like I'll squeeze your arm and kind of just like indicate people.
Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to go on a little circle of the room that gets us closest to those three people.
Okay. All right. So who do you approach first? You can kind of decide what your angle is.
Half elf who isn't eating his food. Because
Okay.
people who don't are the most suspicious to me, Andrew, as a person.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So you start to move towards that, and I figured this scene is all happening while Zahiri is in the background juggling fire and being impressive.
Yeah, and like standing on one leg and juggling fire, and then like using one hand and like trying to like stand on one hand upside down juggling fire, like that kind of stuff. Like I'll roll acrobatics if you want. But.
No, I mean your performance is the performance. So what I was just going to say is that we'll let you you can tell me when you want to conclude, and I assume it'll be based on some kind of like secret
I'm waiting.
PCI language.
Again, like I still have like my eyes out in the crowd. I can see them moving around the back, like so. Okay. I'm ready with a like. Okay, we're done. Just catch all the things and be done.
All right, so Graveris and Ceres, you move through the crowd towards the lonely-looking half-elf man, he's sitting there, and I think as you approach, he like picks up his fork and kind of like pokes at his meal. There's like some meat and some potatoes, and kind of like rolls a potato around in the oil, and then just drops the fork and sneers at it. And then he picks up his quill and like scribbles something in his notebook.
Little notebook. Okay.
Oh, he's a restaurant blogger. Okay.
So you walk over, and he kind of like looks up and he's like, "Can I help you with something?"
So am I detecting anything?
Yeah. So as you approach within 30 feet, there is a faint glow of magic on his quill, and you can see the like little scribblings that he just wrote. They're fading. There's like a magical aura that's fading as you approach. It's like very, 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 very faint.
So to me, that doesn't seem like dangerous magical bomb. So I'm just gonna like whisper to him like, the biscuits are better than average, and then go towards our next person.
So you say that, and he looks up, and he's like, ha, pff, better than average. I'll be the judge of that. And, like, scribbles something like, other patrons were obnoxious. Like, in his little, like, on his...
And so his magical quill is just that he doesn't need to dip it in ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps it sharp and holds ink longer than a regular quill. So he's just like, fa, and like scribbles in the thing.
I mean, you should definitely try the biscuits, though. They're great.
Can you actually, Saris, what's your, and Graveris, actually, Saris, you might have more context for it. What's the two of you? What's your passive perception?
Mine's 15.
Mine is also 15.
You're both very perceptive. Ooh. Okay. So Graveris, you notice the smell, and Saris, you notice the smell as well, but you also, I'll get you to make a nature check, to recognize it. There's like a strange odor that you smell as you walk past his table.
So I'm making a nature check?
Yeah. Holy shit. Just blow it out of the water.
I'm really good with nature, man.
So his meal has been cooked in safflower oil, which normally like you'd use very, very sparingly because it's so pungent, but like it's just drowned in it. Like there's this just puddle of safflower oil. And just as a matter of trivia, you know that safflowers are actually kind of hard to come by, and they only really grow in an area to the north of here called the Quivering Forest. So someone would have had to have like collected them from there and like pressed them, and then used way too much on his meal.
So they're trying to impress him?
Who knows? But it's
trying to make his food shitty on purpose.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's definitely like something is wrong with his meal. It's just there's too much safflower oil that came from the Quivering Forest, and it's terrible. It's just like that's probably why he's so annoyed, because you wouldn't want to eat that either.
All right. Well, that sucks for him. So he's got safflower oil potatoes, but it's still not a magical bomb. So let's move forward and just keep that in the back of our minds, I guess. Who are we going to next, Gravaris?
We're going to Dragonborn now.
Apparently, Gravaris stole one of those potatoes as he walked by.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not going to eat that?
Okay.
Gravaris, not a super taster. Kind of into the massive pile of safflower oil. Okay, so who you want to walk over the Dragonborn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you pass by the elf and walk over to the pale-scaled Dragonborn. They start when you get close. Like they I think they almost knock over their ale, which they haven't drank much of, and they like grab the cup before it tips over, and they're like, I'm sorry, and like sets it back down. And they kind of nervously look up at you, and I don't know what a Dragonborn looks like when they're nervous, but like maybe their like tongue flicks out to like taste the air, and they like kind of like look at you with wide eyes, like what's up?
So do I detect anything?
No. There's no magic within 30 feet of you or the Dragonborn.
So
I make a witticism at the Dragonborn, and then we move on. I'm like,
roll for how witty you are.
Like, I don't know. I say some little piece of like tavern, chit chat.
Oh, I see you subscribe to the John Harper school of describing things in role playing games. I say the wittiest thing you can imagine. Whatever it is, that's what I said, and I move on.
I basically just try and look like I'm ill and like lean on Gravaris, so maybe I'm just going this way to get somewhere else.
Yeah, the Dragonborn, they apologize for some reason. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." They didn't do anything, but they're like, sorry, I looked at you," or whatever. Like, sorry, Sorry.
It's a Canadian dragon bomb.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
Please, it's
Okay,
too
but
late.
still not a magic bomb. So we move on to, I guess, the wild elf.
Yeah, grumpy wild elf.
Okay. All right, so you make your way over to the wild elf table. Before anything, the two things that you notice first and foremost are her bow. She's a finely crafted bow of strange purple wood slung across her back. She looks like a grimy woods person. Like she's got dirty leather armor. She has like burrs, like plant burrs, like stuck to the edge of her cloak. And as soon as you get within 30 feet of her, you notice something in her bag emits a glow of magic.
Okay. So what school of magic?
I think, let me take a quick look in the compendium.
And if only this half orc who's warning us about this could give us like any information.
Right? Anything at all.
Evocation. It's the school of evocation.
So that's a pretty good sign that we're on the right track. Because
Evocation-
evocation is stuff like fireball.
Evocation spells manipulate magical energy to produce a desired effect. Some call up blasts of fire or lightning. Others channel energy to heal wounds.
Okay. So I can't concentration spell. Can I still hold a conversation?
Yeah, not a complicated one. You can't engage in a philosophical dialectic or anything, but you could ask questions and talk.
Can I just be like, I'm so sorry to interrupt your meal, but I noticed
Are you saying this in common or
Elvish?
Okay.
I'm so sorry to interrupt your meal, but I noticed your bow and the wood is beautiful, but I don't recognize. Well, I mean, I guess I can roll nature and see if I do recognize it.
Yeah, you could totally make a nature check.
Then you
All
can be
right.
like, I see you got a heartwood bow, baby.
Do I recognize the bow?
What did you get on your nature?
12.
12. You do not. You recognize that you don't recognize it. You're like,
Okay,
it's very
I recognize
unusual.
that I've never seen the wood before, and it's absolutely beautiful. Do you mind can I ask you what type of wood it is? And I'm just basically trying to engage her in a conversation to kind of see if she's trying to blow up a tavern. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's make a charisma save. Make a charisma saving throw.
So do I click on charisma?
No, there's a saving throws section on your sheet.
Save against awkward.
Exactly. Save against your own awkwardness. It's right. You see where dexterity is? It's to the right of that, where it says charisma at the bottom of the list.
Okay, so just click on that.
Yeah. And
Can I use my inspiration?
oh, you gotta use it before you
Damn.
roll. So 11. I think. Okay, so you approach and she kind of nods, grunts at you, and then does that thing where people do with their phone where they're like, yeah, but she's looking at Zahiri yeah, look, I'm busy, don't, she doesn't dismiss you, but she's like, there's obviously something taking her attention.
Well, she's being distracted. We tried to get everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's super effective.
Is anybody giving me the stop now signal? Because
I don't know if we have definitely found anything yet. So I'm not stop, not signaling to stop now. So Gravaris doesn't know what I've seen, right? So I have to tell him.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So I just she's obviously distracted. I just whisper to Gravaris and I say there's something in her bag. And then I just I don't know, can we keep an eye on her and
Can I just sleight of hand and steal it?
Yes. Yeah, you could try to do that.
Yeah.
Lane, if you Blue Jay, if you give a look to Lane, keep an eye on this one, then yeah, Lane can do that. And then
Okay, so I'm not saying this is definitely it. But I'm just signaling to Lane here's a potential person if you want to, because I obviously wasn't very successful in engaging with her.
Sure. So Lane, when Saris gives you that look, what do you do?
Yeah, I think I nod back. I'm like, yep, got it. I'm gonna observe for maybe a minute after they pass by, Like unless obviously Gravarus is going to try and steal the item
No, I
now.
think we like move on
Yeah, I definitely think that we should investigate more people, but just keep like a.
because it's weird if we just like stand over.
Yeah, that would be odd.
So, did you want to try to steal from her as you go by?
I don't imagine this is like something I could pull off very casually, right? Like her bag is in.
She's pretty distracted. Like Zahiri is doing an amazing job being a big deal.
Okay,
So
well
would
then
that
you know
give
what?
you
Yeah, I'll give it a
advantage?
shot.
This
'Cause
is
It was like
Zahiri in her best element.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you advantage.
Okay, do it.
then I'll totally do it.
How is your sleight of hand?
And I'm gonna cast guidance on myself before I do.
Okay. All
So I just I take a moment to be like, okay, Mask, don't let me fuck this up.
right. Mask likes it when you fuck up. It's
I have
funny.
+4 sleight of hand, Dave. So
Okay, I have
Pretty good.
+5, so I mean you can.
I'm
Okay,
pretty good.
Roll your guidance.
Pretty good. I get
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So you like what is? So I guess are you like untying the bag? Or are you cutting it? Like how does that look? Because you would have. I'll give you this, and then you can describe it. You would have screwed it up if it weren't for Mask being like, you don't do that.
Yeah. So I think I just slip my because it's like a flap that's tied down, and so I just slip my hand in the side, and I'm fishing around, but the elf goes to clear her throat or move her elbow or something, and I have to Max is just watch out for that, and I have to slip my hand kind of sideways to avoid bumping her elbow, and then pull the thing out or whatever. I almost bump into her body with the thing.
Yeah. So Lane, what's your sleight of hand?
It's 5 all the time.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, you see, there's a moment where for you, I think we see it from your perspective, right? Where there's a moment where you're sure Gravarus is gonna get busted. There's no way. She's turning around and she's gonna hit, and then for whatever reason, she doesn't, and he manages to stand there as she moves past him, and then she finishes stretching and sits back down, and he takes something out of her bag.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't even look at it. I just tuck it into I have a little pocket.
So whatever it is, at least she doesn't have it anymore. We're gonna move on.
So without taking a chance to look at it, the only item in the bag that's that isn't she's got a bunch of cloth wrapped up and stuff in her bag, furs, I guess probably.
Okay.
But there is another object, and it's about yay long. Kind of feels smooth and cold. It's got a cork in one end of it.
Yeah. Okay. So some kind
It's
of
a little
flask
bottle
or
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you watch it we can see Saris. You watch the glow move from the bag into.
So that's the right thing.
Yeah.
You got the right thing. Good job.
And I do a no shake and gesture to the next.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So who are the other patrons?
The 3 drunk halflings,
Okay.
the noble-looking man and his dwarven companion, and the 2 old ladies.
Can we investigate the old ladies?
Yeah, I think the old ladies are probably the next most suspicious, and I think I'm gonna signal to Lane to check out the halflings because we're running out of time.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Okay.
So we
Since I
go.
was- since I was watching this sleight of hand check, is there? I mean, do I get any look at what it might be?
Yeah, you
'Cause
can.
I'm
What's your
slightly
passive
suspicious.
perception?
14.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you see the light from the flipping torches reflect off of a glass object, something small in glass.
Okay. I don't see what color it is or anything
No.
because I have my own healing potion to check against, so I know what one looks like.
Yeah,
And I'm
no.
worried this is a red herring. So
Yeah, you don't. You don't recognize the object from. But again, remember, it's a fairly small object from a fairly considerable distance.
okay, yeah. If she points to go over to the halflings, then
Yeah, I think we could honestly split up and get the other 3 one each if we're running out of time, which I assume that we are.
And now I will juggle these torches with my feet.
Yeah. What else can I juggle? You sir, give me that baby.
You orc in the front row, hand me your sword. Thank you.
Yeah, just looking for things to juggle. Someone throw something to me.
Okay, so we signal Lane to go to the rowdy halflings, and we're either both of us or one of us can check out each of the remaining people. How much time do you think we'd have, Adam? Could we both go to the 2 remaining people, or?
I think you probably have enough time if you split up to cover the other tables.
So it was the noble and the old ladies. Who do you think you'd be more suited for, Gravars, to engage with?
I mean, if we were actually talking about who's more suited, I mean, I'm the least suited for the halflings.
You'd probably be more suited for the noble, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should signal Lane to go to the noble.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late. I made the call.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so let's start there. Lane, you walk over to the halflings, and they're laughing about. One of them is finishing a joke and gesturing rudely with his pudgy little hands, and he finishes the joke. And they all like laugh loudly. And as you approach, one of them notices you and turns and kind of squints at you, blinks a couple of times, like wipes his forehead. What do you say when you approach? Or what do you do?
Oh my god! I think I faked like a laugh that I heard their joke.
They're basically done laughing, and you walk up like, ha 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 ha.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Probably.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, I think they kind of like, the one just stares at you and like nudges the other one, and like all 3 of them are kind of like looking at you now, like, who's this guy? And they all have like a very clear, obvious, like familial resemblance. Like they're probably brothers, the 3 of them.
Okay, and they're the ones that are all dressed in like.
Yeah, they're just like jesters.
So I say, good evening, gentlemen. I couldn't help but notice you folks over here. Very, very lively get-ups, that sort of thing. Seem to be enjoying yourselves.
One of the one nearest you says something in that language they were speaking, and then the other one shrugs, and he looks at you and shakes his head and is like, eh.
Oh god.
Well, I just actually... Hold on. Oh, goblins, so close, but yet so far.
They're definitely not speaking Goblin.
I guess I try Elven, just for a laugh.
Okay. What do you say in Elven?
I say, oh, no comment. Maybe Elf.
Yeah. One of the other ones says something else, and they laugh. Like apparently what you said was funny. And then the one that's kind of trying to talk with you shakes his head and is like, no.
Oh god.
Okay, then I'll slip in like are you a thief in Thieves' Cant, or just like, are you cool?
Are you cool?
Yeah, totally. Are you hip? Yeah. So they stop kind of like. They're overplaying how drunk they are. They are still drunk, but they're making a big joke out of it and trying to get attention. They actually seem a little annoyed that everyone's paying attention to Zahiri. And one of them in the back gives you the sign for like, like no shared language, but we understand the can't. He tells you like we're performers from out of town, like not from here.
Yeah, so I nod and then I kind of do like out of town. Anything interesting coming in?
He gives you the sign for like local muscles too strong. We're moving on.
Yeah, I kind of do an eye roll and do the like, yeah, same here. That's what I was wondering about from you. Found any?
Okay.
Marks here.
You give him the secret handshake.
Yeah, exactly. I am moving and I don't have a camera, but I've been like trying to invent hand signs for all the things I'm saying. So just really good job.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. I was watching a video recently of someone doing ASL, and it's amazing how communicative it is. Like you can actually get a lot across with just like hand gestures and stuff and facial expressions.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it's
really
great.
cool.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So, are we, Lane? Are you gonna like? Do you think anything's off with them, or are we like good over there? Do you signal us that like these guys are cool, or what?
Yeah, I think they're okay. I think yeah, like normally it's enough to like start talking to somebody in Thieves Camp and like be like anything interesting going on, and there's kind of like the rule between each other that you kind of be like, yeah, we're looking at this, or at least, hey, this is our turf, back off if they're planning something. So I think it's fine.
This is our town, scrub. Yeah.
Yeah, beat it.
So yeah, so you get the kind of like they're sketchy dudes, but not like probably not the issue here.
Okay.
So so while that's happening, who are you go talk to the old ladies or the noble and the dwarf?
Yeah, I think we're going to talk to the old ladies. And then if we don't find it, we know it's on the nobles and we can follow them out.
Okay, so we're both going to the old ladies. Okay, that's fine.
All right. So when you walk over to the old ladies, one of them tugs on the other one's sleeve when she notices you, and she's like, "Oh, look, Eve, it's adventurers." and you walk up, and Eve turns, and she's like, "How exciting, Esma! Hello, dear," and like waves to you.
So I'm basically like, I think oh gosh, what should I do? I'm just gonna be friendly and be like, hello, like, how are you enjoying? Like, I'm basically gonna go with the, like, I'm a regular here, and you are cute old ladies, and I think you're cute, and I, like, wanted to, like, I'm basically saying, like, how are you enjoying my friend's show? So I'm like, establishing, like, a camaraderie with Zahiri, and, like, just basically saying, like, hey, like, kind of in this, like, almost like ownership of the show or the area.
Are you promoting me? Is that what you're doing?
You walk up, you're like, "I'm with the band." Yeah, I know.
Are you my agent now?
I'm your agent right now. So yeah, that's how I like establish why I'm coming to their table. I'm basically just being
Important
like,
question, though.
Yes.
Important question.
do I? Yeah.
Yeah, is magic detected?
Is that
Yes.
just-
So one of the old ladies is wearing a like a silver necklace. It looks very old. It's a silver necklace with some gemstones set into it. It's not like huge and ostentatious, but it's quite nice. And it is faintly radiating illusion magic.
Illusion. So they're probably not actually old ladies.
Well, they're not glowing. Just the necklace is.
Okay. So I like eye catch with Gravaris and like look over at the necklace, and I'm just like, that thing.
I steal that necklace. Oh.
Yeah, so they're like happy to invite you to sit down, and Esma is like, "Oh, that's so interesting, dear," and like nodding and listening, and she notices you, kind of like she gives you the up and down, and she looks over at the wild elf at the table across the room, and she's like, Are you friends with Surik over there?"
With Surik. Is that?
She nods and like points at the wild elf, and then the other old lady is like, she's like, "Oh hush, Esma, they're not all friends, you know." And she's like, I thought two wild elves in the same place. It was an interesting coincidence.
Well,
I lean in and I'm
actually,
like, I'm half.
dear, I'm a wood elf, but yes, we were just talking to Surik. How do you know her?
And she's like, "Oh dear, we know everyone in town."
And I like gesture over my shoulder at the noble and the dwarf, and I'm just like, do you know them?
Yeah. So she, Eve says, she's like, "Well, that's an interesting question. The dwarf woman there, that's Yana, and we know her, but we don't know that man. I think it's a romance. Esma doesn't believe me, but I can tell." And she like leans in and kind of like steeples her knobby fingers.
So I'm going to attempt to like get both of the ladies to look over at the noble and the dwarf woman with me, and like be like chattering and gossiping. Like I'm basically being totally not myself, but on purpose. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like the way she's looking at him, and in like while I'm like getting their attention distracted, I'm just like telling Gravaris like, get the necklace.
You're doing this?
Yeah, like this, and Gravaris just cuts their throats. I didn't mean no. Oh God.
No, it's lower down. It means steal the necklace. If it's up here, it means murder them.
Oh, well, I'm gesturing like, ugh, like really cute. No, I'm not.
That's a very important
You
distinction.
gotta be distinct about this. Yeah, you just see Gravaris taking out a knife. You're like, no, the other thing.
Okay, let's just pretend that I get it across. It's not killing. It's necklace
So,
stealing.
Gravaris, do you want to try to steal this old lady's necklace? It's gonna be difficult. I'll give you advantage, but it's gonna be real tough.
Do we want to try, or do we want to like?
Oh, well, I'm so confident I can pull it off. I'm like 100% confident I can pull it off. So I like do one of these and like loosen up my fingers a little, and then I'm like, all right, mask, steer me right the first time. I'm down now.
Somewhere in whatever plane Mask lives in, he's like, oh,
Oh my
good
God.
luck, man.
Yeah, he's like, this is great. Mask is like, yeah, do it. So with
Mask is
guidance,
remember, Mask is the god of thieves.
I get a freaking 20.
Oh yeah!
That's awesome. A 28.
I'm just like, oh, stealing old ladies.
This is
I
like,
do this for a living. No
Mask
problem.
is so happy with your.
I like put an arm around her shoulder and I'm like being very friendly and talking to her the whole time. Just like, yeah, no, it's wonderful. Really like in this
Mom,
modern age.
this is like in Fallout 4 when you get that talent where you can steal people's clothes while they're wearing them and they don't notice. Like, you're just like, oh, whoop. Yeah, totally. So you lean in,
Yeah, so I just talk about like, oh, it's so wonderful. Yes, that love can be expressed so openly.
and Chad has suggested, and I agree. If you don't already have inspiration, go ahead and take it.
I already have it because
There you go.
keep already having advantage.
Inspired.
Yeah, well, because Zahiri is buying y'all advantage for basically everything in this situation. So
Thanks, Zahiri.
Zahiri MVP on this one.
Yay!
You, sir, could you hand me that chair?
Dude, you got to totally do the like
Yeah,
chair on a
exactly.
table with another chair on it with another chair on it, and then you're on top juggling.
You know,
The kind of shit that's happening, like while you guys are doing this, like I escalated too soon, so now I have to keep escalating.
well, the problem is you know it's gonna be really bad when Zahiri has to start doing impressions. Like, all right, my next one. This is you guys know Elminster. All right, this is my Elminster. I'm an old wizard, right? Yeah, because he's old and a wizard.
So yeah, the necklace is in my pocket.
Yeah. So you unclasp the necklace and slip it into your pocket.
It's like I unclasp it, and while I'm unclasping it, I'm reaching over to like shake someone's hand or something, and it just like slips into my sleeve. And
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and so she's just like, I think she, the woman like interprets your like being close to her as being like flirtatious, and she's just like, yeah, like cooing at you and like, oh my, I haven't had this much attention from a handsome young man in such a long time.
I'm like, oh, it's so nice to meet someone my own age.
Okay, so once I noticed,
She should actually be offended by that, but instead it's like, yeah, oh, that's so good.
It's like, yo, I'm a half elf.
Right, you like
That's
the older,
true.
you like the older human ladies.
Yeah.
so I
good work, Ben
when
Franklin.
I noticed that the theft has been done, I'm like, oh my goodness, Eve and Esme, I'm gonna go talk to them and see if I can gather any intel about whether it's a date. Like, so then we leave.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's find out what you learn at the third table, and then we can take our break. So you approach, and yeah, it's an older human man and a dwarven woman dining together. They're sitting quite close together, and neither of them looks like an adventurer because they're both dressed in fine clothes, and you can feel your spell start to fade. Right, you're reaching the end of your casting time.
Do I have enough time to?
Yeah, you notice something there's a bag sitting next to the human, and something in it is radiating magic. It's vaguely head-sized and spherical. So there's this like perfect sphere of glowing magic. And it is radiating, it's the strongest item you've seen so far, and it's radiating evocation magic like quite strongly.
Okay, so while we approach the table, obviously I'm within 30 feet of it before we even get there. Like I should have been within 30 feet when we were at the table next to it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed the item, noticed that it's magical. Like I whisper to Gravaris, like, I'm gonna go like get all up in their business and like try like and like be like that interfering. Oh my God, is this a date? Like Esme and whatever we're just talking about. I'm just gonna be really obnoxious. And like when I get up to the table, maybe I'll try and like nudge it towards him. Like I want him to separate from me, basically. And like I'm just gonna be obnoxious at the table. So that's like I tell him like, okay, like.
Yeah, and all the signals are happening too, where I'm like, Zahiri, do the finale.
Yeah, this
Lane,
is the end.
over here.
Like this is it. Lane, I guess, is already done with the halfling, so he could maybe come over and try and like help get the thing. We're just like, Lane, put all this. Probably the thing.
Everyone's converging on this table.
Yeah, like if you get like the shot from above where it's just like all the people moving top down. You see
So yeah, like I'm gonna do the like Zahiri's finishing up distracting, and I'm gonna do the like so. Like I'm just gonna sit down at the table.
Yeah. So when you sit down immediately, like the human like huffs. Right. He's like, oh, "Excuse me, this is a private conversation. I'll kindly ask you to leave."
I have to ask, like Esme and Eve and I were just like, I what was the dwarf's name that they mentioned? The lady's
Yana.
name. Yana, like Esme and Eve and I just have to know, like, is this a date? And I'm gonna be really like Valley Girl obnoxious,
So,
like totally oblivious to any like you need privacy things.
So the reactions, and I think maybe Saris, you aren't the one that noticed this because you're trying to like evoke responses and like figure out you're in the middle of it. But Gravaris and Lane, you both notice immediately, like when Saris approaches, the guy gets cagey and kind of angry. And like you notice he like glances at the door and like he's feeling like as soon as you walk up, and Yana is looking at him and his reaction is making her nervous. It's not Saris, but it's the fact that Saris is making this guy jumpy is making her uncomfortable and scared.
Okay.
Can I take a second to, like, since he's looking cagey, I want to be able to intercept him, so I'm going to try and like blend into the crowd while I'm moving towards him, so I can potentially like sneak and try and like grab him if he tries to make a run for it.
Okay.
What are you doing, Gravaris? Are you going for the item?
Oh, go ahead, Andrew. You answered that.
I think I wait for the climax of Zahiri's performance.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna like, as I'm walking past, pick up the bag and walk out the door with it.
Or try to, I suppose.
Yeah.
So Zahiri, like, what's your finale? Like, we say
Well, I was gonna do the finale a while ago. So I mean, I've already done the finale and moved on to the after finale and the
just light
after
something on
finale.
fire.
Stuff is just getting worse and worse. So eventually it just kind of comes to like I'm balancing on a chair on one foot, juggling 3 torches and a sword, you know, and trying to do it with one hand while I, you know, start a song or something at the same time.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be a musical number at
There's
the end.
all kinds of crap going on. Eventually it just kind of like I catch all the things, I throw the sword back to the guy, the half orc in the crowd who handed it to me, catch all the things, sort of like, you know, blow all the torches out and like cascade of colors and hop my way down off the chair onto the table and do a sort of like, you know, thank you everyone, thank you, you've been a wonderful audience, it's fantastic to have had you all here. My name is again Zahiri,
And this is when people are like throwing some coins on the table.
Stage name, of course, if you ever hear of me in another town, Lackadaisy, you know, I'm well known across the land, and make sure that if you have an event that you're planning that you think you need good entertainment for, you call me.
Children's birthday parties, corporate events.
Okay, so while she's doing her finale, I basically like say like I ignore the fact that this guy is looking really uncomfortable, and like I turn to Zahiri and I like start clapping like outrageously, and I motion to the guy and I'm like, oh, clap.
Yeah,
like,
the guy, as he realizes like the performance is thing and there's all this stuff going on, you can see him, he makes a decision, like Gravaris, you see his face change a little bit. Yeah. And he looks at Yana and he shakes his head and he's like, no, I can't do this. And he stands up and reaches for his bag. And
as he's making that decision,
Yana reaches for his sleeve and she gets a desperate look on her face and she's like, no, please, just. And then that's when you want to like try to grab the bag.
Just like swoop in and grab the bag and walk out the door.
Okay.
Like quickly.
Okay, let's see.
So you're not trying to like sneak it away from him. You just want to grab it and like beeline out because he's keeping very definite attention on it.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's make let's have an opposed.
Essentially, my plan, like overall, is that I go out the door and Lane is already set to like leave a pick for me, right? So like I walk past Lane and then Lane like bumps into him or whatever, right? It's that classic thing.
Okay, we'll try it.
Let's have you make a dexterity saving throw for me, and I'll make one for him, and we'll see who grabs it first.
I have a question. When I multi-class into Rogue, do I get a proficiency bonus to Dex?
I don't think
No.
so. No.
No, so that's the one thing you don't get.
Thing, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll make my Dex save. I get a 13.
Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. He grabs it. You kind of both grab it at the same time.
Awkward.
And you grab the bottom and he grabs the top, and as he stands, he pulls it and the bag tips over. And he lunges to grab whatever was inside it. And you see this like glass sphere tumble out. And we see this all in slow motion as the regular lights kind of come up. It's, about basketball sized. It's a sphere. Floating inside the sphere is a long, sharp piece of like what might be bone. And a bunch of like flickering blue bolts of electricity that are kind of like one of those, what are they called? They have them in Science World, the like sphere you put your hand on.
The Tesla things.
Yeah.
It's like one of those spheres. I bet you if you put your hand on your hair would stand up. Anyway, so it tumbles out and he gasps and Yana gasps and like we see her mouth the word no, and it falls. And as the bottom of the sphere hits the ground and breaks, he's reaching for he's going to grab it with his other hand. But it breaks, and he ends up grabbing the spur, and he shrieks in pain as his body is like racked with electricity. And I think before we go to break, the last thing we see is him like writhing on the floor, like gripping this piece of bone and screaming, and the tavern, like everybody getting up and suddenly all their attention snapping to the table.
Oh God,
So-
we did everything so well.
Yeah, you did great. It was that one last roll, but there's more to come. So stick around. We will see what the mystery of the electro tooth is when we return.